Today on Judge Faith, the owner of the Atlanta Legends semi-pro basketball team confronts a former player in court over unpaid bills after he was cut from the team.
I could have been overseas playing for Italy.
Your Honor, Italy would not take that.
We call him LeJohnson Shane.
So what happened with that contract? You turned it down?
And later, Judge Faith asks NBA legend Jim Jackson to offer insight on the testimony.
Everybody can't play in the NBA. Everybody can't be a star. But what you can do is take those little steps and have a great career overseas, make a lot of money, and take care of your family.
Let me ask you, because you feel that you're so good, you want to be paid, you want to be compensated. Is anyone on the team compensated?
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Tonio Mateo says a defendant failed to pay back the money he was loaned to join the Atlanta Legends semi-pro team. He's suing for unpaid basketball fees and basketball shoes. He's accompanied in court today by Jermaine Barnes. Defendant Philton Johnson Jr. says he doesn't owe because Tony wanted him for the team, so he offered to pay the expenses. He's countersuing for unpaid wages.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Amateo versus Johnson.
Thank you, Juan. Tony Amateo,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are suing the defendant Philton Johnson Jr.
Yes, Your Honor.
for $514.
Yes, Your Honor.
$300 of that is for registration fees for a semi-pro basketball team that you started, and $214 of that is for basketball shoes.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're countersuing, sir, for $900 for unpaid wages.
Yes, Your Honor.
We'll start with you, Mr. Amateo. Give me some background. How do you know the defendant?
Well, I met the defendant, Lebron James, Philton Johnson, in 2004 in college at the Fort Valley State University in Georgia. Ironically, we actually met on the basketball court, and being that we shared the same passion for the game, you know, we naturally clicked. I moved back to Atlanta, and I purchased a team.
What team, sir?
The Atlanta Legends, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And the defendant asked me if he could play.
He asked me to play, Your Honor.
Being that I knew him before and the talent that he once possessed, I figured, you know, no problem. But when he got there, he just wasn't the same person that I knew.
Give me some background on you. How long have you been playing basketball?
I've been playing ball all my life, since age 5, actually. But you know, when I met this guy, when we were playing basketball at Fort Valley State University, he had a horrific knee injury. When he fell, I saw him, I said, man, look at him. He's crying, grown man crying. So I went over there, I helped him out, and we became friends. Became best friends, of course. Mm-hmm. So, you know, went through college, everything was good.
What about your basketball career? Where did you start playing?
Well, I actually started as a youth. I used to play AAU basketball. Mm-hmm. And from there, I didn't play in high school. Mm-hmm. I went on to college to the University of Georgia, 2001-2002 season. And my freshman year, I was playing ball, and the UJ coach, he saw me, he said, come here, son. I want you to play for me. All right, cool. So things were going well.
Who was the coach then?
Coach Jim Harrick.
Okay.
But at that time, he was fired. And before they could submit the final roster, of course, I was left off because I wasn't on scholarship with the new coach. Go figure. But
eventually you start playing again, and the two of you reconnect, and you say that he asked you to be a part of the team?
Yes, Your Honor, he did.
Tell me about that conversation.
We bumped into each other playing ball. He called me Johnson. He said, Johnson, hey, man, I don't have nobody on the team who can provide consistent scoring or lockdown defense. Mm-hmm. He knows that's what I do. Mm-hmm. Am I not correct? So I said, yeah, man, I'll play, man. I'll play on your team. But I said, wait, hold on. Does it cost?
May I speak, Your Honor?
He said, yes, it costs $150 registration fee. Okay. I don't have it, man. I don't have any money. So he said, hey, you know what? I'll pay it for you. Matter of fact, you don't have to even try out. I didn't have to try out.
You just walked right on the team?
Exactly.
What position? Playing what position?
Score. That's all you want me to do. Go in, score, lock down the best defensive player.
That is not a position.
That's it.
Okay.
It's right. I don't have a position.
But that's not a position. You didn't have a. So you just.
This is what we've been dealing with.
Just shoot the ball.
Guard.
This is what we've been dealing with.
Does he still play for the team now?
No.
Yes,
Why?
I do.
What happened was.
Wait, hold on a second. You say he does not play for the team?
He's been kicked off the team.
Is that true? Did you know you were kicked off the team?
No, I didn't.
If you
I
let
just
me
found out
explain,
right
Your
now.
Honor.
I just
You just found out now that you've been
Just
kicked off the
found
team?
out.
I can break it
Just
down for you
found out.
chronologically. What happened was, in 2014, I made the first payment of $150 for him. I told him I was going to need that back by the end of the season. However, he fell upon financial hardships, and about September of the next year, he lost his job. So he asked me if he could stay with myself and my brother. We let him move in, and I could see that he was kind of going through it. So he asked me again if he could play, and I was kind of leery based off of the last time, but this time I said, we're going to make this happen. However, you're going to have to pay me $50 per month.
To do what?
Pay me back for the
No,
registration
man.
fees. So I actually got him a job as a forklift operator in December. So in January, he made the first payment of $50.
Okay.
February, I got nothing. In March, we had to part.
You did make a $50 payment
Yes,
to
I
him?
did. Yes, at the beginning
So
of
why
this
would you
year.
do that if you didn't owe him any money for registration?
We did make a verbal agreement about the registration
That
the
counts.
first year.
But you
All
didn't
the
pay
other
for the
years-
entire first year. He's only suing you for 2 seasons. So the first season, you agreed to pay back the $150 for the first season. You only paid $50.
Yes, ma'am.
He paid the
Okay,
second season.
because before you told me that that wasn't the agreement at all, that he sought you out to play on the team because he wanted you to just score.
Coming up, the basketball league is discussed in more detail.
I was in Taiwan. When I found out it was him, I had to come back. He basically ruined everything they had. They were a really, really strong team.
Hi, I'm Judge Faith. Follow me on Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Plaintiff Tony Omateo says Filton knew the money was a loan. He's suing for unpaid basketball fees and basketball shoes. Defendant Filton Johnson Jr. says he doesn't know because Tony offered to pay the expenses. He's countersuing for unpaid wages.
You say he owes you for shoes as well?
Yes, ma'am.
What about that?
He was embarrassing us with the shoes that he had on. And
Y'all just go for the jugular in this case. You don't hold anything back,
well,
do you?
I apologize then. His shoes they were a little bit unkempt.
Okay.
And they didn't match what the team had going on. I do have my receipt right here for the shoes.
Did he buy you the shoes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I didn't ask for them.
And what was the agreement with the shoes?
The same agreement. I was going to need to be reimbursed for it. I told him, I know you. Everybody else doesn't know you. You don't want these people coming here to see you looking like this. We can't sell a product with you out here with shoes that you cut the grass in. So
He sounds just like the guy. Hey, when I moved in with his brother, he tried to make a side deal. His brother said, hey, you can stay here rent-free. This guy says, no, you have to buy groceries, for the house. I'm like, why?
No, he didn't go there, did he?
Yeah, he did.
You had to buy groceries.
Yeah. So
Where you
I'm
live?
like, okay, I'll go buy groceries. I don't want no trouble.
Was he being unreasonable asking you to buy groceries?
This guy has OCD, okay? If I vacuum the floor, the lines aren't straight, he has a problem with it. I wash the dishes, put it in the drainer. If they're not lined up, he has a problem with it. Only females act like that.
Really?
That's the way I see it.
What is that supposed to mean?
Hey, very
This is the
particular.
disrespect.
Tell
Very
me about
particular
this.
very
Tell me
particular.
about how females act.
I'm already washing the dishes. I'm doing the best that I can.
Your Honor, the
And when
dishes
I
that
put
he
it in
washed
the
were his
drainer,
own.
this is the best that you gonna go behind me and just say, that's not right, that's not right. What do you
Were
mean?
you doing that? Were you
That guy.
micromanaging his dishwashing?
I did not. We had a specific set of rules. Don't come in after certain hours. My brother is a school teacher.
Okay.
So he has to be asleep so he can get up and teach.
Oh, man.
Don't come in all hours of the night. We don't want too much different types of company over here. I don't know the people
what
that
he's
you deal
talking
with.
about. I have
Okay.
no idea.
Clean
he
up
was
after
breaking all
yourself.
those
I have
rules?
no
He was
idea.
breaking all
Clean
those
up after
rules?
yourself.
I have no idea
was,
what
Your
he's
Honor.
talking about. I carry the team. He
Okay.
knows the truth. I'm the man. Clearly. I'm like the 37-year-old LeBron James. Clearly.
Your Honor.
I did the same thing that he did with his team to that team.
Your Honor.
Clearly.
You made it
Your
happen.
Honor, believe it.
Your Honor.
You know what?
Hey, these guys believe in me. Believe that.
What kind of player was he?
He's a washed up,
Really?
old.
Are you just saying that now because you're
No.
upset with him?
I mean, I have video evidence. If you
That
would
he's
like to
washed
see it.
up?
Yeah.
Video evidence that he's
Your
washed
Honor.
up?
I do have video
Let me see the
You know
video.
what? He's delirious right now.
I want to see the video.
He's saying all these things.
I need you to be
really?
quiet.
Oh.
This is his evidence. I want to see the video.
Here we have a fast break play. I'm on the other side, and as you can see, he got a shot blocked, and we had to replace the ball. So there's actually a little bit of a delay. Here's him playing no defense, and here he is just giving the ball away to the other team. Look at
Couple
him.
of plays.
That's the best play he made all season, the deflection out of bounds. This was his best
I
game.
carried the team to the playoffs.
He actually went on Instagram with the hashtag #BeLegendary after this game. They did.
Who are you, sir? Can you step up? Okay, who are you?
My name is Jermaine Barnes.
Are you a member of the Atlanta Legends as well?
No, I own the entire league. I started it. I'm the founder. He purchased his franchise in my league. So it would be like the NFL, he's the Atlanta Falcons. I own the NFL.
Okay.
So he bought the franchise from me to give these guys opportunities to move on to the next level. So I have the connections all over the world. So I'm in communication with all the countries, and they call me and say, Mr. Barnes, we need a point guard. He tells me he had a point guard. I come to watch whatever that was. And
So he wanted you to come see him. He thought he was good.
yeah, I mean, but they were close friends at the time. You know, he was really trying to help him. And, you know, that's how Mr. Mateo is.
Well, did you see the talent there?
The first couple of times I seen him play, I would say he had something. When it came to official games, it was another story.
Okay.
I mean,
He choked
But
under
I
the
clearly
pressure?
I felt
couldn't
like
have
it
made
was,
the playoffs every year since I joined the team.
man, we call him LeJohnson Shane.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I did what I was supposed to do. I played my contract.
And the team made the playoffs every year you
Yes,
were with them, and
every
prior to
year.
that they
Ma'am.
didn't?
And what I had to do every game was guard the best player.
On average, how many points would you score in a game?
I go in about three minutes and score as much as I can.
Man,
On
Score
average.
as much as I can.
And on average, what is as
On
much
average,
as you
I would
can?
say about 20.
20?
Yeah.
Okay.
Judge
okay.
Faye.
And I don't play as much as everybody else. I go in, do what I'm asked, come back out.
Judge
That's
Faye,
it.
I was in Taiwan. He called me to fly me in for this case. So I'm trying to explain to you, when I found out it was him, I had to come back. That's how ridiculous this is. I'm telling you, the type of players he has on his franchise, I know these guys personally because I played against them.
Sorry.
He has ex-NBA players,
Sloth players.
ex-European players, and he basically ruined everything they had. They were a really, really strong team.
Well, let me ask you, because you feel that you're so good, your talent took them to the next level.
Exactly.
You're countersuing because you want to be paid. You want to be compensated.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
anyone on the team compensated?
I don't know about the other guys.
Are they?
No one is compensated.
So why are you countersuing for compensation now?
For lost wages. Clearly.
What
clearly-
wages? If you never earned any wages, what have you lost?
Clearly, I could have been overseas playing for Italy, but I stayed loyal to my guy right here.
Really?
Your
I was
Honor,
loyal to
Italy
this
would
guy
not take that.
to stay here and play.
Did Italy call you?
Yeah, I did have a contract to play overseas.
Nobody called him.
Really? So
How would he know?
Hold on a second.
How would this guy know?
And so what happened with that contract? You turned it down?
Yes,
Because you wanted to be
stay
loyal to
here,
the
yeah.
Atlanta Legends?
I love the game, but I also have responsibilities here, so I just decided to
Probably
stay
took
here.
the job that I got him.
Coming up on Judge Faith, friend of the court, NBA legend Jim Jackson provides expert insight.
I did grow up with somebody who had the same kind of attitude. It was them, they were the man, it was their team, and they kind of disrupted everything we did.
Plaintiff Tony Omateo says the money he gave Filton was a loan. He's suing for unpaid basketball fees and basketball shoes. Defendant Filton Johnson Jr. says he doesn't owe because Tony recruited him and offered to pay expenses. He's countersuing for unpaid wages.
So this is an interesting case, the first that I've had in my courtroom dealing with the issues surrounding playing in a semi-pro league and that league being an opportunity for someone to play overseas. So I asked a friend of mine to come and provide me with some insight today. He played in the NBA for 14 years. He was selected 4th overall in the draft for the NBA when he played. His last season was in 2006 when he played with the Lakers. He was the last player to wear number 24 before Kobe Bryant. So I have Jim Jackson with us today. Jim is currently on air for Fox Sports, providing analysis for Fox Sports. Thank you for being here.
Got it.
So you've had an opportunity to listen to the testimony here today. And what do you think about what you've heard from Mr. Johnson about playing in the semi-pros and this opportunity that he's been provided with?
I mean, it's funny because I read the case files and I understand how a lot of it works. When you're playing in a league where you're not going to get paid, you're committed to doing something. I look at what you're saying about having offers to Italy, having some financial problems, but yet and still you stay. This doesn't make sense. I've known people that played in semi-pro, prime example, got an opportunity to go play overseas, have a great career, take care of their families, and then if you get a chance to go to the NBDL, get a look by the league, is great. But at the same time, everybody can't play in the NBA. Everybody can't be a star. But what you can do is take those little steps and have a great career overseas, make a lot of money, and take care of your family.
He's countersuing for compensation, although there's no agreement that he be compensated. And oftentimes there are players who they think they're the star, and that could impact the dynamics of the team.
Right.
Have you ever played with anyone like that?
Fortunately for me in the league, I didn't have to play with anybody like that. But I did grow up with somebody who had the same kind of attitude in regards to it was them, they were the man, it was their team, and they kind of disrupted everything we did. Because I've seen it all the time, and I've seen it from different players who played on different teams, where you had one player in particular who thought that the team was theirs, and everything they did was surrounded by them, and that's not always the case. You didn't even know how many points you averaged, but yet still you the score. And I'm gonna go back to the point of countersuing. When you signed up, you knew you wasn't gonna get paid. So now all of a sudden, you wanna go through and countersue when you signed a contract knowing you wasn't gonna get paid and nobody else was getting paid. It just doesn't add up to me.
What do you think about what Mr. Amateo did in terms of fronting money for his players, for registration fees for 2 years in a row, basketball shoes? What do you think about that?
Well, I think it came from a friend perspective. I don't know if he would have did it if he really didn't know Mr. Johnson well enough to respect his talent and bring him in and say, hey, listen, I understand you're going through some tough times, but man, take care of this, but all I want you to do is take care of me at the end of the day. Definitely. And that's it. And not only that, he did it once, he did it twice, and then he got the shoes too. So really, at the end of the day, it's like, listen, brother, all I want you to do is to respect and honor your commitment to paying me back. Because I looked out for you when you needed it. And that's a tough thing to do, but as an owner, a lot of times you gotta step up and do that.
Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Thank
you. Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
I have to say, despite the video footage you submitted today, you said that was his best game. I have to say, I think that you wanted him to play for the team because he was good.
It wasn't about him being
However,
great,
there's bad blood between the two of you now, and you don't want to compliment him in any way. I understand it. But I think he's better than what was depicted on the edited footage that you submitted to the court today. However, not so good that you get to be compensated when that wasn't the agreement in the beginning. By the way, you only think you're worth $900? That's what you're asking for in compensation? You're so great, you call yourself the 37-year-old LeBron James, but it's only worth $900.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt the man's pocket. Just to say, hey, man, you trying to do this to me, this is what I want.
$900.
This is what I want.
Okay, well,
right
that's
here.
dismissed. Yeah. Your $900 is dismissed. But what I do find is that you owe for the registration fees minus $50 because he paid $50, right?
Yes,
so the amount is only $250 in addition to the basketball shoes. I do not believe that those shoes were a gift. I think that your friend was looking out for you when he helped you with the shoes. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming all the way from Taiwan and offering your testimony. I understand it was important for you to set the record straight here. I appreciate you all being here. I wish you all the best in your basketball careers going forward. I think it's great that you're doing something that you enjoy outside of your day jobs and what you do for a living. So congratulations on that. $464 judgment for the plaintiff.
Thank you. I'm not going to give up on people, but I have to start choosing a little more wisely. Picking people who may be really who they say they are.
It is what it is. He's still my friend. We're still going to play together. We're still going to do what we got to do to get these wins and promote the league.
If you or someone you know has a dispute, don't take the law into your own hands. Let Judge Faith rule on it for you. To submit your case, go to judgefaith.com and tell us your story. See you in court.